AEW, a company known for always prioritizing professional wrestling. While they excel in that factor, what they don't excel well is, not understanding that they have too many frickin' belts. But that's where I come into play. Hola hola everyone, my name is Nando, I've done a video for WWE now, and now it's time for AEW to get a piece of the pie and give my honest thoughts about every champion in AEW, excluding Ring of Honor, because you know why. Because everyone's sentence will always start and end with, I don't watch the show, but I bet Athena's reign is great. Also keep in mind, I watch both AEW and WWE on a weekly basis, so no tribalism on who you believe and who I favor more. If you like one over the other, or both, that's fine. Just please keep it civil in the comments, please. Anyways, you know the drill. The list goes as follow. On top you got mwah, chef's kiss. Then you get good, then you get meh/harmless, then you get bad, and then lastly you have the absolute stank on the bottom tier list. Subscribe to my channel as we upload every single Monday. Let's go! Up first is the AEW Trios Champion. Stank! What is there more to say about these things? These titles are just never defended. In AEW wrestler terms, these are the Ricky Stocks of championships because they just never get used on TV. And here's the thing, I've disliked these belts since day one. Everyone wanted trios belts in AEW since day one, since we've had plenty of factions. But to me, with more factions, that just means we can have different combos of doing tag matches, not trios matches, because that's just excessive to me. In a promotion, to me, you just have your top, your mids, your tags, and your women's champion. Not your trios, because that division will sink fairly quicker than the tag division. But yeah, Death Riders, you stank. You barely defend them, just like the rest of the teams that have held them. Up next is Konosuke. Chef's kiss, he gets number one, baby boy. This man has no reason to be a heel. Man has no reason to be in the Don Callis family. That man is good on his own. He just comes out, looks cool, makes wrestling matches look cool, and then he just leaves. What a perfect wrestler! I think he's just better as a face because he's just got that fighting spirit kind of character in AEW, and he's just more beloved than booed. Plus I think this Don Callis thing is just not for him, and Don Callis is just better off just managing Kyle Fletcher. That's it. Just Kyle Fletcher. And keep a note, I'm recording this before AEW Revolution, so I have no idea on who wins between him and Kenny. My guess is obviously Kenny Omega. You have Kyle beat Willa in the steel cage match, so then he gets his match with Kenny for the title. Everybody wins. Konosuke did the best that he could with the belt. Only problem is that he just wasn't booked enough as champ in the promotion in my opinion. He's goated, but he still has his flaws, which aren't his fault. Mercedes Mone, good. I know she's been champion for a while now, but she still gets a good to me. Her matches are great, but what really draws her back is just her character and her really lame finisher. Like there's nothing notable that you can remember from a Monet promo. She comes out, says she's the best, calls everyone a loser and leaves, which in fair, she is kind of right. She is one of the best, but her promo work pushes me back. And talk about that finisher. Wrestlers, if you have a finisher that has a higher chance of botching than succeeding, maybe just find another move. Banks crossface is great. That soft finisher is not. Either way, she still gets a good. Daniel Garcia with the TNT champion. Okay, look, I love Daniel Garcia, but it's gotta go in the bad category. Listen. Again, I must mention, I love Garcia, but I just don't think enough attention has come with him since he's been champion. He's done a lot of work in Collision, but again, it's nothing noteworthy that you can remember it. He's great in what he does. He's running, chasing for the TNT champion. He's been excellent. It's just his booking that's just been throwing him way back in my opinion. Lovely matches on Collision, but I feel like he just needs to do a little bit more. You know what I mean? Kazuchika Okada with the Continental Championship. Oh, vey, just talk about, man, our world title program is too stacked to have you in it. So, would you like a belt that was specifically made for you just to keep you busy? Yeah, Okada's title reign just gets a stank. Not to the fault of Okada, no. It's just a useless belt to have around. You're essentially giving this to Okada because you're not ready to book him in the main top card yet. And I can understand that, but I think there's just plenty of alternatives to go with this. You know, maybe it's not really bad. I'll give it like harmless, really. But really, just why can't we just have normal feuds with wrestlers, with Okada? He can establish himself and the opponent just for the sake of the opponent facing Okada, New Japan's great himself. You don't need a title to keep him busy. Just let Okada do his own thing to keep him busy. And also, just make the Continental Classic a tournament for a shot at the World Champion. It's just dumb to have all these top names fight for a championship that's just like forgotten and left in the lower mid card. The AEW Tag Team Champions of the Hurt Syndicate. This gets all good. This team is legit. You've got two people who are about to hit 50 in about a year or two, and yet they still wrestle like they're in their 20s. It's phenomenal. I'm a huge fan of this team, solely for the fact that I've been a huge fan of the Hurt Business in WWE. They've had that aura, the cool factor, in the way they felt unique. They felt like a force to be reckoned with. It was so good that Vince was like, this is too good.
I'm a killer.
And that's what he did, leaving the Hurt Business to just break up because... And except for Bobby, who had an alright bit of success afterwards, but the rest just didn't get the same luck, unfortunately. But we're here now. Give Hurt Syndicate a good long dominant run with the belts. Don't even try to make good matches, just kill them all, I think. It's just a shame that this all came at the expense of Private Party, who are literally AEW's most charismatic and fun tag team, but they just never seemed to give him a shot no matter what they did with him. They were over in the OG days, over with their theme song. Come on, don't lie to yourself and say you weren't singing shots, shots, shots whenever they came down to the ring, because you damn right did, because they were so over and likable. And then they won the AEW tag titles this year, or last year actually, but then they just weren't booked as consistently again. Toni Storm, goated. Mwah! Chef's kiss. I don't give a fuck. Best women's wrestler to date. What a resurrection of a career. From getting pied and humiliated in her main roster run in WWE to come to AEW and people were like, it's just another WWE name coming in and then probably not getting booked in the next few weeks. I was one of them. And yet here she is, 3-time women's champion and is AEW's best women's wrestler to date, while also withholding AEW's top 10 feuds of all time with Mariah May. They were a great act together, the chemistry was just a great mix together, and they matched together at AEW All In. I got to watch it with my brother, who's just a casual wrestling fan of this, and even he enjoyed it. That match gave AEW a lot more hope from the fans back that they could really book this women's division well again. So then Mariah May won, and then they barely did much with her when she won it. Ugh. Like it just sucked. Mariah is such a talented performer. She had good matches, but she was barely given TV time, doing segments backstage at times, and the reign was just feeling like they were just waiting for Toni Storm to come back and rekindle their feud. To which they did. Their story is still great together. It's just unfortunate in what they did with Mariah May and her title reign. But overall, Toni's great. Toni's goated. Always. And lastly, we have the AEW World Champion of Jon Moxley. This hurts me. This gets a stank too. Before I get my hate, understand I love Moxley. I even love his old theme, Wild Thing. It is literally dead ass Pinky Promise. I never fail my Pinky Promise. It's dead ass one of my favorite themes of all time for so many years. So really I have all the right to be biased about this, but I won't, because here's the thing, Death Riders suck. And it's not the group, it's just the storyline, because in general I'm just tired of this whole it's the faction against AEW trope now. They tried it with the Elite, almost worked until it didn't, and now they're doing it again with the Death Riders. And all together now, almost worked until it didn't. When they started, they felt like a force to be reckoned with, passing through and destroying everyone. In Moxley's words, he wanted AEW to change and be this more serious and gritty brand that it used to be before. Which is such wild things to say, while he's done nothing to fight against a tag team that pretends that they were born from the 1960s And best of all, Moxley wrestled on the same show that the Costco Big Bone family members were wrestling in. Like he did nothing to them. A storyline that is just tough to do creatively because it can create so many plot holes, because a story like this practically needs participation for everyone to be involved. But in a wrestling world where wrestlers just focus on themselves and the person they're feuding with and rarely have their feuds intertwined with other feuds, this just doesn't work. And also another point, I hate that we can't see the world champion. It's the most gorgeous belt in wrestling. It's got WWE fans who hate AEW to admit it's the best looking belt, and you're just hiding it in a small briefcase, which I don't even think that the title's inside of. I love Mox's AEW reign. He carried AEW on his back. I love these other reigns. I appreciate him still. But right now, stank. How will this reign end? I don't know. The best I can imagine is seeing Hope win the belt at AEW Revolution, and then Christian Cage would then later on cash in on him, as he still has that little all-in gauntlet cash-in battle royal thing. I don't know. That's just my big prediction of what's going to happen at the show. I don't know if it's going to really happen, but it would be so hilarious if that were to happen, given the history that, like, Christian has cashed in on Cope to win back a title before.
He's executing the concert. Cope, he's out! He's out! Holy cow, are you kidding?
And that's all I have for you folks. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, it's just my opinion. Keep it civil. I watch both AEW and WWE, so there's no biasness towards it. I keep it honest as I could. Here are all my socials. Subscribe now, as I'm trying to reach 10 subs by the end of the month. I upload every single Monday. Have a good day and goodbye.